Hi, folks. Mr. Ruley here with today's edition of Storytime. I have a fun one today here. It's called Some Smug Slug. Now, remember, when we read a story, the first thing we want to do is look at the title, we'll look at the cover art, and that can tell us a little bit about the story. Now, I know it's going to be about a slug here, or I would guess at least. But I do know that after reading through the story here, it's a lovely book about it. Just kind of a day in the life of a slug and all the things the slug goes through and all the other creatures in the forest the slug meets. Now, the other thing I thought was fun about this book, and it makes it fun to read aloud, is that it uses what's called alliteration. Now, alliteration is where you use the same starting letter, that initial consonant sound, and it's the same each time, like some, smug, slug. Kind of just adds a little element to the story here. And so as I'm reading the story, I want you to hear or really listen and see if you can spot S sounds. All right, let's see about some, smug, slug. One summer Sunday, while strolling on soil, with its antenna signaling, a slug sensed a slope. Did you hear any S sounds? I bet you did. Slowly, the slug started up the steep surface, stringing behind it scribble sparkling like silk. Stop! Screamed a sparrow, shattering the silence. Well, I wonder what that sparrow wants. Save him! Shrieked a spider, scurrying down its strand. That to me looks like an orb spider. I like spiders a lot. They're like my favorite. But I have a lot of favorite things, so. Silly, sighed a swallowtail, swooshing through the spice bush. Saphead, snickered a skink as its sapphire tail swished. With a shrug of its shoulders on the slug, sauntered. With a swagger it slithered up the slant. Did you hear some more S sounds? I bet. This author really uses a lot of alliteration. Show off, scolded a squirrel, storing nuts for the season. So sad, squealed a stink bug, shivering on a stem. I'll tell you, not a fan of those stink bugs. For one single second, in a sunbeam it slumbered, and its sleek skin was soft like shantung. Seldom swerving or straggling or swaying or skewing, the smug slug shambled on. Do you see other creatures there? What do you think that is? What about these little guys? Struggling up to the summit, the slimy slug smiled, a self-satisfied smile. Look how smug that slug is. In spite of sinister signs, it showed no suspicion. Uh-oh. Here we have the slug. What do you think we have here? Is that an eyeball? What do you think that eyeball belongs to? Well, let's see. Until something shifted and shuddered and shook, that sly, slippery slope was simply a sham. Uh-oh. What's going to happen? Well, let's see. Such a shock, such a shame. Such a succulent slug. Well, hope the frog enjoyed that meal. Or maybe that's a toad. Uh-oh. Somebody help me out there. All right, well, such is nature and such is the story of some smug slug. I hope you enjoyed that story. I always enjoy reading to your folks. Remember to read every single day because it's fun, because it's good for you. And hey, folks, you take good care.